everyone, I'm Navya, a first year undergrad student at National Law University, Jodhpur. I completed my grade 12 in 2019 from Nirja Modi School, Jaipur, after which I undertook the CLAT examination in the same year. But my journey for law did not start right after my class 12 but instead began 2 years back when I decided to pursue law as my career. I had joined the weekend batch of my coaching institute wherein we had classes every Saturday and Sunday. Those of you who would have experienced a similar kind of coaching pattern would agree with me that it is very draining and tiring to work all week, study for boards, study for CLAT, and then have 4-hour long classes on the weekends. I hated it too, but in the hindsight, I can assure you that all the efforts would certainly be worth. My last month of CLAT preparation was different from someone who would have dropped a year to appear for the same. CBSE boards usually get over by mid-April and then you have approximately 1 to 1.5 months for it to be May when the CLAT paper usually takes place. Those of you who are appearing for CLAT alongside grade 12 would agree with me that it's really difficult to focus on CLAT after the second pre-board as all you do is study for boards and then you need to start afresh in April. It is during this time that pressure really starts building up. It is a tiring phase when you feel a lot of anxiety. You suddenly start feeling that there's a lot of competition from the droppers. However, this time the aspirants have more time due to the postponement of the CLAT paper and cancellation of the CBSE board paper. I feel this is a bonus time for those who were scared to write CLAT right after the class 12 board examinations. For the last 1 month, my strategy was then to go back to all the important concepts, see if I had doubts and get them cleared. This was like a short recap which lasted for 2 to 3 days. Once I was sure that all my basic concepts were clear and I had no doubts, especially in subjects like logical reasoning, legal reasoning and mathematics, I never went back to the theory or read the chapters again. All I did was practice. The main focus then was only on mock tests and their analysis. Since most coaching classes do not conduct mocks daily, I had taken an online test series which had a lot of mocks and sectional tests. I used to practice them every day and I think they helped me a lot. Slowly, every other section was sorted but GK still remained a grey area for me. For GK then I downloaded monthly compendiums, studied the notes which I had made all year round and made a list of important topics. Considering the fact that this time GK would be paragraph based and questions would be asked in depth, I would suggest aspirants to make a list of all the important topics and study them in detail from IAS preparation sites or from YouTube videos. Since these videos are made after in-depth research about the topic, they cover all the important questions and saves us from the last-minute hectic research. One thing which you need to keep in mind is to focus on concepts that you already know. Do not try to learn everything and a lot of new concepts at the last moment. This might confuse you. Instead, trust your mentor and trust what he's taught you. Though I cannot deny the importance of hard work during this period, however, I would like to take this moment to remind you to be happy about what you're doing, stay focused and stay calm. These are testing times. Don't let the pressure around you come inside you. As I have already emphasized, mock tests are a sort of panacea to all the problems which you'll face while writing the actual CLAT paper. It's more like the L'Oreal Paris 5 in 1 pack. Mock tests help you manage time, which you never even know is a problem until you write the actual paper in the examination setting and in all that pressure. If not while giving a mock, you would never attempt 150 questions in 2 hours. So I feel mock tests also help to increase productivity while studying. Moreover, giving one mock test every day helps you ensure that you cover all kinds of important questions a few days before the paper. Mock tests help you keep track of the kinds of mistakes that you're making. One important thing here is that there is no use of putting 2 hours in writing a mock if you're not analyzing it. You need to analyze the mock, look at the kind of mistakes that you're making, try to identify the reason why you're making the mistake and try not to repeat the same again in the future. If you get questions from a particular topic wrong continuously, then I'd suggest go back to the topic study the basic concepts again, and then try attempting mocks. Apart from this, mock tests help you ensure that you study each subject every day. You cannot study maths today and then practice it only after 3 days. This shouldn't be done. Consistency always remains the key. Moreover, a good mock is really satisfying and helps you boost your confidence. That is not about what you've learned or how much have you learned. It's about if you're able to translate whatever you've learned into giving the right answers on the final day. As we all know, CLAT is unpredictable. We need to be prepared for the worst scenario also. The first mistake I can think of that aspirants generally do is to give mocks just to know the score and their rank. No, this shouldn't be done. This is not the idea behind putting 2 hours into writing a mock. You need to, unless you analyze a mock, giving mocks is futile and you'll keep repeating the same mistakes again. Also, focusing too much on theory could prove to be a waste of time. Subjects like English, math and reasoning cannot be done away that way. Practice is the only way you'll be able to ace them. One query a lot of juniors keep asking me is how much time is to be devoted to which section and what should be the order of attempting paper. I had the same doubts when I was appearing for CLAT. Allocation of time is a very subjective thing and should purely depend on what your strengths are and how well have you prepared for which section. For me personally, I would start with GK because that would take the least time. Then I would go to a section which I am comfortable with, which was maths. I did math then and usually wanted to go to reasoning. But then my mentor had told me that doing this would leave 2 heavy reading sections, that is English and legal reasoning, behind together. So then after math I'll go to legal reasoning and then to logical reasoning, and then in the last would attempt English. Your strategy and the order of attempting can only be analyzed after giving mocks. You can try attempting subjects in different orders while giving the paper and see what suits you the best. Also, it is important to start with the section which you are comfortable with. People weak at math should not think of starting the paper with math just to get done with it. This could demoralize you. Instead, you have to start with the section which you are sure of and which you are sure would not demotivate you right in the beginning of the paper. This could spoil the rest of your paper also. But there could be other ways of doing it too. For example, English could be a weak section for most of the people, and considering the fact that English this time would consist of 6 to 7 heavy reading passages, aspirants might consider solving half of the portion in one go, then go back to a section which they're comfortable with, and then come back to English to solve the remaining 3 to 4 passages. This might help to improve efficiency and save time and freezing of minds. What I mean to say is that there's no perfect strategy for attempting the paper. You can only figure out your own strategy while attempting mocks. Managing boards with CLAT can be tedious, and also to decide whether to take a drop year or not can be equally pressurizing, as after a drop year you certainly want to have a good NLU. All this makes us wonder why not go to other private law colleges. The thought of wanting to have good grades in class 12 made me look out for other options in the private sector, but luckily I had got the opportunity to study in an NLU. Having spent an year at college now and having friends in other private law schools, I can see the difference in the overall personal development and growth in my batchmates and them. At an NLU, you get the opportunity to study with the best minds from all over the country. The overall personality development is unmatched and something which you can never get in a private law college. I cannot verbalize the difference, but I'm sure when you feel it, you'll cherish it lifelong. An NLU opens doors to numerous opportunities which are once in a lifetime. Earlier, I hated the thought of going to a place like Jodhpur for my higher studies when all my friends went to party places like Delhi and Mumbai. But now, having gone there, I really don't want to come back. So in the end, I'd just like to say that I'm really happy to see you all make this far. Pull up your socks, put that little extra effort for one last month which could land you into a good college. Think of the reason you decided to take up CLAT in the first place. Remind yourself that you can do it and you actually would be able to. Till then, good luck, stay calm and keep smiling.